Question 4. How did you use media technologies in the construction and research planning and evaluation stages? Construction. In construction for the trailer Chalk Lane, we used a Nikon D3100. This camera was both affordable and effective for filming and capturing shots of great focus and depths. We used multiple cameras of these in order to get a variety of shots and angles in the same scene. The use of the tripod was very effective in capturing still shots, which would have been very helpful in changing the focus within a shot as well. Ultimately, the result of using this filming equipment has allowed us as a group to produce shots which are of a high quality standard. In terms of editing the trailer, we used the software Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2015. To familiarise ourselves with the complex functions within the software, I watched a range of videos on YouTube and WordPress on the school's media blog page. This allowed us to use technical codes such as a sound bridge. To speed up our workflow, we used a zoom tool which could lengthen and shorten the outline of the videos, making it easier for us to precisely edit a millisecond of a sound or footage. The Razor Edit tool was very useful in editing clips by either cutting them or extending them. This would allow us to include important shots or moments or exclude any unnecessary footage. It also allowed us to cut any shots quickly as well. The multiple layers on the software allowed us to combine the footage with the diegetic speech and the non-diegetic soundtrack, as well as the BBC Two ident in the bottom corner. The diegetic and non-diegetic sounds could also be edited to dominate or be overpowered by one or the other. The BBC ident was edited beforehand in Photoshop, where I removed the background and changed the colour to white, which was effective as it stood out from the range of colours in the trailer, but didn't distract the audience's attention too much. This was then imported from Photoshop to Premiere Pro and used as an ongoing layer throughout the trailer. To add in critical praise, we had to use Adobe After Effects CS15, which we learned with the help from tutorials on the school WordPress page. This allowed us to create special effects such as the smoke, which uncovered the critical praise. The impact of this critical praise would allow audiences to find the trailer more appealing, as it had been supported by key institutions such as The Guardian. For both the ancillary products of the poster and magazine front cover, I used Photoshop CC 2015. This provided a good software for image and text manipulation, as well as for colour in both the poster and magazine front cover. Image manipulation is clearly identified in both poster and magazine front cover, as I used a spot healing tool and sharpening tool to make the image appear perfect and stand out to the audience. I also used a quick selection tool as well to precisely cut the image and place it in front of a background. This was particularly essential in the magazine front cover and the main image, as both characters are gazing at the audience, and this would make them stand out further. With all the main images, the hair was very hard editing. Therefore, I used quick mask mode along with a brush to conceal and reveal any needed parts of the image, which were very, very fine. In the poster, it is clear I used a gradient tool in the background for the images behind the protagonist. Here I lowered the opacity of these images and used the gradient tool for them to fade into each other. This was needed in the poster to highlight the multi-stranded narrative. As well as this, I used an image of the road sign, Chalk Lane, and used the rubber tool to manipulate the image into looking like a hill, and then add a gradient to fade it into the black background. Once this was finished, I had to add in the point of call information, social media icons, and critical praise. For the magazine front cover, I added stroke and a drop shadow to the masthead to attempt to repeat Steve Neal 1980 from the magazine front cover of Inside Soap, and the stroke and drop shadow make the masthead bolder and stand out from the rest of the magazine front cover. To help me in outlining and structuring the magazine front cover, I used the ruler tool and used the lines to make sure everything is lined up, making it seem more professional. For the structure of the front cover, I used a rectangle tool in order to create space to put other stories within them. After producing my finished products of my ancillary and main tasks, I saved the ancillary products as JPEGs and embedded my trailer onto my WordPress unit G324 page by copying the direct links from YouTube, which is by far the best media site for video sharing. Research and planning. WordPress was very beneficial as it allowed me to place all my pre-production research and planning through SlideShare. The structure of WordPress allowed me to track and record all of my work, as well as noting blog posts which tracked my progress through my experience in partaking in this course. To produce all my products, I used a variety of software. Firstly, I used Microsoft Word for some of the planning and research tasks, as they were found useful in presenting work such as the prop list and the script for the soap opera trailer. Word was very easy to use and quick to use, as it's a simple yet effective way for important documents such as letters to the government. Microsoft PowerPoint was used a lot in my planning and research, as it was appropriate for presenting my work, such as mind maps and storyboards. PowerPoint was very effective, as it was very easy to construct and upload to SlideShare, which made the research look very presentable. Excel was another software I used within the planning and research for the shot list, as Excel is specifically used for categories through the use of cells. To receive important feedback from both before and after my planning and research, I used SurveyMonkey and Google Forms. These two sites made it simple to create questionnaires and surveys for the general public to answer inquiring on the soap opera genre. As well as this, it allowed me to easily transfer them to charts and graphs to look easier to work from and analyse to find any shock statistics. In the pre-production stages of Chalk Lane, we used the internet to do research into media products to be used as our inspirations from trailers, posters and magazine front covers. To quote Steve Neal, 1980, to repeat and differ codes and conventions to appeal to the wider audience. These were mainly from Emmerdale and EastEnders, which are major programs in the soap opera industry. I used YouTube, a video sharing program, to watch 2 trailers from Emmerdale and EastEnders to review the camera and editing technical codes, mise-en-scene, non-verbal codes, and both diegetic and non-diegetic verbal codes. This will assist me on my creation of my own trailer, as I could look at conventions to exploit Abercrombie 1995. From the Emmerdale trailer, I repeated Steve Neal, the introduction where they use a multi-stranded narrative to present all the main dilemmas for a range of shots and short-paced transitions. Multi-stranded narrative is key in order for the audience to personally identify and build personal relationships, CATs, and allow us to portray all our themes such as violence, drug abuse and relationships. Evaluation. For presenting my questions, I used eMaze, Facebook, My Storybook and Premiere Pro. These platforms were very effective in presenting my questions, as they are compatible in presenting text, photos and videos. eMaze consisted of really smooth transitions, making it seem like a better Microsoft PowerPoint. Facebook is a unique way in presenting all my information, along with attached images on the Facebook page. My Storybook was another technology, which was the most basic platform, as it was very easy to use, but its design makes it very easy for users to read. I then used Premiere Pro for the last question, which will be presented on YouTube. This is another effective way in presenting my work, as YouTube is very accessible and a popular e-media site. Conclusion. Using these varieties of technologies allowed me to come to terms with the functions of online media platforms in ways I can suitably construct and present my production and coursework on.